Well, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, and Happy New Year it is. Man, I'm so excited about the pop, don't know what to do. Much love to each of you. Love you in the Lord. Melanie, thank you for chiming in. Happy New Year to you, my love. So glad that you're doing well on the East Coast. First Lady Ingrid, good to see you, darling. Celebrating you and the hubby. Tell him I said hello and Happy New Year. Got my sister, Mamu, the UK. Y'all are in our future. Thank you for letting us know that it was going to be okay. I got my guests coming in too. I got man of God. I got Bishop Ricky Hooker is in the house. Much love to your man and the family, the ministry. Tell them all hello. We got Carol Casper is in the house. Good evening. Happy New Year. Keisha is in the house. Keisha, you know you need to call me. You're wrong about that. Apostle, Happy New Year, woman of God.
Hey.
I hope you had some downtime because good God Almighty, you ran 2020 like to the wheels fall off.
It's been interesting. I was in the middle of a call when I looked up and it was time. I was like, "Oh Lord!"
Yes, I understand. Look, you're one of those sisters. You're gonna get it done no matter what. And man, we've had some space in 2020 where the collaboration and the coming together has really blessed me. And I wanted to start the year off doing the same thing. And we got a topic tonight. We're gonna try not to be long, but we're on a subject that we could both talk about this all day, every day. And our strategy tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is this: to strategize your wins for 2021. We don't believe in coincidence or even accidents, for that matter. That things are providential, and as such, we need to get with God. We need to plan. We need to strategize. We need to have a coming together of the hearts, coming together of the minds, coming together of the souls. And if that's the type of thing that you know you need to do, give us a shout out in the comments. Let us know that you'll like to hear from us in that regard, because we're going to share some tips with you tonight that we believe that will be a blessing to you. So, Apostle, you ready to go?
I'm ready. I'm ready if you are.
You stay ready. You stay ready. I wrote down basically 8 things, and we'll end on the 8th one, but always starting with vision and goals. And you're a renowned author. You've written so many things extensively on the subject. I've written on the subject, articles, messages, lectures, you name it, visions and goals. And there's somebody watching this right now, maybe the live or the replay, and they're in a place where 2020 was crazy. So maybe they didn't get the traction like they really wanted to carve out what they needed to really dig in to the vision and goals, planning and strategizing for 2021. So since we're here already, praise the Lord, we're here, right? So can you help somebody right now real quick with some vision and goals? Give somebody watching this broadcast some tips on strategizing their win for 2020 with some visions and goals. Put that together for us.
Well, one of the things that you definitely want to do is revisit, but not stay. Revisit where you were in 2020 and where you want to go. Yeah. So if you didn't feel that you had the drive or the success that you had, revisit that. And the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. But if you don't know where you've been, you sure ain't gonna know where you're going.
Come on, you're dropping them.
So you gotta write that vision, and I would suggest to those of you who have never been a part of a vision. I usually do vision board parties about this season, but and I may do a virtual. I'm thinking about doing a virtual one for our team as well as one just for anyone. But that is important. It's important that you write your goals. It's important. I was telling them earlier today during a live that I got 3 books out of writing my visions and goals after I got laid off. One of my visions was never to work for a job anymore. To never go back into corporate America
Right.
to work for myself. And so as I began to write it, I was just sharing with a young woman, which is my sister, a book that I read called Caught Between a Dream and a Job. I forget who wrote it.
Toro, is it?
Huh?
Is that Del Toro?
I'm not sure who it is, but someone gave it to me, and it blessed me to help me. So I think that's one of the first things you need to do is just focus, kind of review where you were and where you want to go.
Oh, that's good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not underestimate the gravity of this first point. We got a few more to cover. We're not going to be with you long tonight. But if you're going to strategize your wins for 2021, I love what she said. You got to make sure you revisit where you've been. A lot of times you got to, you ever lose something and you're all over the place. But one of the first things you lose something, you got to think about where you've been with what you lost. You don't just start, looking all over the place in new places. You kind of retrace your steps in that regard. So we kind of have to do that same thing. It's very strategic to do that. And listen, time waits for no one. We got a weekend in front of us. I mean, I don't know what your schedule is, your workflow and all that. But if I were you, I would carve out some sacred space, maybe a 12-hour spot, at least 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours of time to really, shut the phone off. Turn off everything, internet, lock the door, put the bar, whatever you need to do to get that quiet time, that solitude, to go in a very prayerful place so that you can do just what she said. Establish it, write the vision, make it plain. And of course, your goals are born forth from your vision. It makes no sense to have goals if you don't have a vision. Your goals reinforce. That's the structure. That's what gives your vision the muscle, if you will. If you have goals and you don't have a vision, you're really just wasting time, and vice versa. If you have a vision, you don't have any goals, you're never going to get there. So that's good stuff. Here's the next one I wanted to talk about with you, Apostle. As we strategize our wins for 2021, what is the relevance and the importance of your teammates, of being lined up with like-minded persons? Can you talk about some experience from 2020 and beyond where, there's been times in all of our lives where sometimes you just roll with folk, they want to go, come on, let's go. More, we say this, the more the merrier. And lo and behold, what a mistake that often is. Right? So talk to us about that.
Well, I think that the most important thing is that you got to really, especially if you are a Christian with the gift of discernment, you definitely want to discern. You may not always be, you may not always hit it on the money, because life change, people change, and people make decisions. You're not responsible for another person's decisions. Right. But at the end of the day, you want to collaborate with like-minded people. I recently joined, and I know you are in a coaching group as well, but I recently joined a group of kingdom entrepreneurs, right? Because I wanted to be surrounded by people who actually think like me, who actually move like me, who actually can deposit in me and I can deposit in them.
Right.
And as I began to align myself with like-minded people, because the Bible says iron sharpens iron.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Iron sharpens iron. And so I'm not perfect and you're not perfect, but when we come together, honey, right?
Yes, Lord.
So, I believe that with Team Legacy, Team Joshua, and all the other entities that will enter into the partnership that we have,
right,
they will align with the vision that God has given me.
That's right.
And God has given you as a leader, right? And that we'll all be like-mindedness, just as as we walk with Christ. And so I just really believe that. And I know that to be true. And so I believe in collaboration and partnership. I believe that teamwork makes the dream work. There's nothing that you can do. I'm a marketplace apostle. So there's nothing that you can do outside of understanding that there's a lane for ministry. There's a lane in the marketplace, but they do, for me, they coincide. And I have to find people who understand that they both of those lanes actually walk together. Because the Bible said, how can two walk together except they agree?
You're dropping them. I hope y'all heard that. Look, we better get this while we can, because it's the first. And the Lord said the same creek don't rise. Tomorrow will be the second. You don't want to be walking with people that are contrary. Listen, if you're on one ship and it's a rowboat, number one, make sure that everybody's rowing.
Yes.
Number two, make sure they're rowing in the same direction.
Yes.
It takes place when we have the discernment to make sure we analyze our teammates are like-minded individuals. Will we always agree on everything? Absolutely not. I mean, one might like cornflakes, the other might like Fruit Loops. Who knows? The other doesn't even like cereal at all. But you focus on the main things. You keep the main thing, and you make it, Apostle, where what we do, where everybody wins.
Yes.
It's not one person winning at the expense of the other. One person has to have a W. The other person has to have an L for lose. No, we all win together, and that's what you do when you're a part of an amazing team. We got Coach Tanya in. That's our girl right there. She's making it happen. We got Coach G. Mama G is in the house.
Hey, Mama G.
Man, they ain't no joke over there. I can't wait to see him. Amen. Mamu, we can't wait to see you, darling. Carol, we can't wait to see you as well. We are super, super, super excited. Let's go to this third one, because this third one is just as good. My beautiful sister Hattie, give the Mason family our love and tell everyone Happy New Year. We made it up in this joint by the grace of God. Number 3, Apostle, strategizing your wins for 2021. Number 1, it's based upon strategizing with your vision and goals. Number 2, based upon strategizing with your teammates, like-minded individuals. But how does personal growth come into play with this? You know, sometimes, let me say it this way. We can want something we're really not ready for, and we don't have the capacity to handle it even when we get it, because we haven't grown in the process. Can you help us? Can you unpack that for us?
Well, I think that sometimes we got to understand that life is about risk.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're gonna do your dream, if you're gonna walk out your dreams, if you're gonna walk out the vision that God has given you, everybody ain't gonna be able to see what you see.
Right.
So you have to get yourself in a position to understand that as of today is a new year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new month.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be intentional, right? You got to be intentional, because the Bible says in Isaiah 43, behold, I do a new thing.
Oh.
And so how you going to do a new thing if you don't get yourself aligned up with you dealing with the enemy in you, right? Because sometimes it ain't other people, it's you and your own insecurities, your own self-esteem, your own blockages, your own family history, your own what they call ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences.
Right.
All of that stuff becomes blockages. And so you got to deal with that. You got to find out, right? And one of the big things for me is how I ended up writing. Is I started writing. The first book that I wrote was called Bruised But Not Broken. The Art of Being Real, Take Off the Mask.
Come on.
And it was because it was actually a story about myself, as me standing outside of myself in 3 images, and me growing into the woman that I've become, because I had a choice. I could have stayed that kid in the projects that really could not see vision, because all I could see is the projects and the gangs. I could have been the same. I could have stood in the eyes of a teen mother, right? That felt like at the time all she could do was just do everything that she needed to do, take care of her children. I mean, her child. At the time I had my daughter, right? And then I could have stand in the vision, or I could decide to get myself in a position to move in my personal growth. And I want to go back that far, because a lot of times it starts from there, right? And you got to deal with there in order to get to where you need to be.
That is so powerful. That she's helping us, y'all. Listen, last night, as we were bringing in the new year, we had just a couple of couples coming in. Shout out to a couple of people. We got my main man, Kevin Watkins, is in the house. Happy New Year to you, man of God. We got Marcel Morris is in the house. Pastor Paul is in the house. And let me get this young man up here. We just love this young man right here. Jamal Swans is in the house. There you go. But let's talk about this. I was very inspired. I'm going to watch it again. I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe you have, but get the grandkids. You get your grandkids to see this. Soul. Have you seen it yet? Disney, Pixar. It's a new release that they've put out. And I watched it last night. I don't know how long it's been out. But there's a part there. There's this musician, and he's very gifted. And I'm not going to tell the story. I don't want to mess it up for anybody. But there's a young lady that he has to help come. What's the word I'll use? Come to herself. Come to her best self, her greater self. But as he's trying to help her in her journey, it's almost like he goes in a space and he's walking through her exterior and he goes into the soulish realm. And in that soulish realm, Apostle, you saw all these gigantic, gargantuan individuals that were inside of her head from her childhood, telling her this, telling her that, you'll never be this. And it was from her past, but these were giants inside of her. And he had to walk through that path and navigate through all of that stuff that was frightening, very frightening to her, because, it didn't make sense why she was responding a certain way. But then as you begin to see this, you understand that inside of her head, inside of her soul, were these voices that never, ever went away. And we all carry that. We all have those things. That's why personal growth on every aspect. If you don't do nothing else starting out this year, get serious about personal growth. And kind of like what you said earlier, you got to know where you need to grow. All of us, none of us have arrived. I don't care who we are. You got somebody on a platform. You're looking at someone flesh and blood who has vast weaknesses, frailties, and everything else in between. We're humans. That's what it is. Made of the dirt, right? So the thing of it is, we got to be real with ourselves. I like that title on that article you had. We got to be real with ourselves. And even though there's still some COVID going on, we might need that mask, but we got to take that thing off, take that mask off, and deal with the person in the mirror, come face to face with some personal growth. So I'm so glad that you shared that. That is very, very relevant. We got a few more people chiming in. Let me recognize. We got my Aunt Janice is in the house. She won't pick up the phone. I don't know if I should say nothing to her. I called her for New Year's. I'm sure, man. She got me feeling some kind of way calling her, and she don't even pick up. Carol says, my grandson just said he watched it, and it was a good movie. Yes, I'm going to watch it again. Tanya says, I'm going to have to watch it. Yeah, Tanya, get those grandchildren. Get the grandchildren. I think you'll enjoy it. 2020 has allowed me to do more personal growth. Man, if we didn't get that, Lord, my move. We missed the memo if we didn't get that. My boy Sean DeRoe, he said this. I think he said it this way. I can't quote him perfectly, but I'll try to get as close as I can. He said 2020 were the lessons and 2021 is the action. So if we don't know what the lessons were, we can't take the appropriate actions. We should have been paying attention in class and everything that, for the most part, we needed to see. If we were honest and transparent, God allowed us to see it in 2020.
Yes.
Some stuff about other folk, and more importantly, some stuff about ourselves. Those are lessons. Yes. 2021 is the year for the actions. Take action on what we should learn. Miss Dora is in the house. My sheep, come on here. Hear my voice. Growth in your personal personal communion with him is the key. You are absolutely right, woman of God. Absolutely right. There we go. All right, we're going to go on to number 3. Y'all see we can talk all day about this. We're going to go on to number 4. Let's bring it into some space to get us all excited. Zig, good to see you, man. Thanks for chiming in. Happy New Year. Ryan, Happy New Year to you the same. Much love to you and the family. Apostle, education is everything. And let's be clear. No matter how many degrees and how much experience and titles and all that type of stuff we might have, there's more that we don't know than we do know. All of us are just scratching the surface of the knowledge. But man, here it is, just a few years, we found out about this Forex thing, and now we're a part of an educational platform that not only retrains your mind for something that we didn't know existed, but now it's preparing us to begin to make investments, not just putting our money in the bank, because the banks ain't the banks ain't doing what we doing. They're not putting the money in other banks. They're putting the money where. So talk to us about this Forex. Can you help us to get our minds right? Because this is very important. Because if we're going to really put ourselves in a position to strategize some wins, we need to begin to doing some things differently on our economy. Forex education investments. Talk to us about that.
Well, I believe that for Forex education, I'm just getting familiar with it. My husband was actually doing like stocks and different things for years, right? There was that's something he's been very interested. But just since recently, I began to look at Forex education in a different light. I remember the company that we're a part of, David had a vision that just ordinary everyday people would be able to create extraordinary wealth. And to be able to solidify that, he has now created a Forex educational platform that teaches us how to invest appropriately. So it's different than just, my husband said, it's like a Forex university, except for we don't have to pay the college money to get the college degree. It's not just cutting and pasting. It's not just the rah of it. It's really so I believe a year from now, because we have the platform for the novice like myself, that we have the platform for the person that knows a little bit of something. And then we have the platform for the folks that's kind of in between, but they need more knowledge. And then we got a platform called the Smart Money Platform, where people who already in the game, understand it, can go in and make mad moves. So we have every platform, it's automated, and I just really believe that it's a system we definitely need to have, because just to hold our money in the bank is no longer, I mean, if COVID has taught us some things, right? I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying, I almost got all my bills paid down because I couldn't go shopping. Wasn't no sister buying no pretty dress because I do virtual church now, right? So the investment, right? But let me say this too. Things are so forever changing, but to be able to do that, to be able to learn that strategy is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. But I really believe that you got to be with a company that's solid. We've had a number of companies that have fallen by the wayside very quickly because a lot of it is hype. A lot of it is not really teaching the foundational basics of how to move and shift and get out. And one of the things that they did teach us too is about mindset, right? And Romans 12 talks about be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? So you got to get your mind wrapped around when you creating wealth. My husband's getting a little nervous because we've almost created a level of wealth that we had when we were both working, and we're now both fully retired, right? And so he's like, girl, right? But we got to invest. We got to do something. We're at the age where we got to learn how to create that generational legacy wealth. And what I really want to do is be able to, for my 20-year-old granddaughter and my 40-year-old son and my 40-some-year-old daughter, to be able to learn those systems that they can systematically create generational wealth. So that's a big thing right now.
Lord have mercy. I love what you just said. Somebody put this in the comments. #learn the systems. Everything that's moving around us, the major players are moving. It's not on a personal basis. It's not personality. They're using systems.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't even know the system, like in this case, didn't even know this system existed.
Yes.
And we've been playing Monopoly and didn't even know the rules.
Yes.
How you gonna win? You want to strategize to win in 2021? Let us do you a favor. Connect with us. One of our members, our partners on this feed here, get with the person that shared this with you. Because listen, we're novices ourselves. We're going to school. We're having our minds renewed on this thing because we learned some stuff that wasn't proper. It wasn't right. No. How is it that This thing is Forex we're talking about 20 times larger than the U.S. stock market.
Yep.
And most people don't even know what it is. I didn't.
Well, we couldn't play. We couldn't play.
Oh.
You had to be a millionaire to play. You had to have $1,100,000 to give a broker. So we couldn't even play because we ain't millionaires, right? We just everyday people.
Yeah.
But now you can play and get a broker account for as little as $100.
Yeah.
So we couldn't even play. We didn't even know because we couldn't play it. I mean, I've traveled all over the world, right? I understand about the exchange. You know, I remember when I went to Africa, our $1 was 11 of their dollars, right? I was giving out, me and my friend was told not to give $1, give money out to the people. And of course we didn't obey. And so we went and got a bunch of $100 bills, and you would have thought that we had given away $100. Because we just started giving them out in the shanty towns, you know, but it was that $1 could feed them at that time for, you know, a week, you know, so it's just it's just being able to learn that. And I really believe that Travorium is going to, this time next year, there are going to be people that have never been able to obtain wealth, right? That's gonna attain wealth. I have a young girl on our team, right? She was trading, and she was trading, and she actually in one of her first trades, she generated about $500. Well, she's an stay-at-home mom. Right? Just messing around, following what they telling her to do. So when you can do that and be able to learn that, that's going to be something.
That's an invaluable skill set, Apostle, because in a digital environment, now people are saying all kind of different things, and I'm not one for all those conspiracies and all that type of stuff. There's a whole lot going on. Let's put it like that. Pay attention, be woke. But the thing of it is, even if this COVID thing is extended and there's some other stuff coming behind it or not, we always have to be prepared of being able to have the type of income that's digital in nature. And that's not based upon us always having to go out to do something to earn it. So when you can get on your cell phone and do some swipes and push some buttons, and you have the education to know what buttons you pushing. And if you don't have that, use our trade ideas, that's what they are, from the experts, and you'll do well with just following their advice. Now, there's risk involved. Let us say this, just like the stock market, just like mutual funds, but when it comes to the law of averages, the wins over time so far outweigh the losses that if you're doing it for the long haul, man, it's just loaded with opportunity. So let us just say this before we move on to this next. If you have not heard anything else that we've said or tried to convey to you about strategizing your wins, let me bring that back up. Strategizing your wins for 2020, you need to come through and connect with somebody on our team and our partnership and our network. Find out, get your questions answered. Ask them, what is this Forex stuff y'all talking about? Because you got to find out, because it's a game changer, not only for yourself as an individual in your household, but for the generations coming after you, if you do what you need to do to master it. And that's what we're in position to do. And I love what you said, Apostle. By the end, that's it. By the end of this year, we won't be novices because we're going to school. Now, I don't pay like yourself. We don't pay all kind of money for regular education and degrees and all that type of stuff, and had to do school loans and scholarships. But this thing right here is going to be an education that man is going to be worth every single penny of it. So let's move on to the next thing. If you're going to really set up yourself, your family, strategize your wins for 2021. Number five. Let me go back to the list here. Number one, your visions and your goals. You got to put that in place. Number two, you got to get lined up with your teammates and like-minded individuals. Because even if you're by yourself and you just got your own vision, your own goals, reality, human nature, you're only going to go so far if you're working for yourself. One fall, you don't have anybody to pick you up, you're still falling, right? Number three, your personal growth. You got to be serious about that. You got to know the areas where do you need to grow. as a man, a woman, a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter, a professional, or whatever your calling is. What are the areas where you need to grow? Number 4, we talked about your Forex education and investments. Number 5. Now here's the fun part. Somebody put that in the comments. Here's the fun part.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming. Here's the fun part. Apostle, help us to understand how we can strategize our wins like never before in 2021. Someone watching this broadcast, either live or replay, what's so different about our family vacations?
Well, with Travorium, our family vacations, one of the things is that, and David just did it, a video where his family arrived. He said they had to go through, everything was sanitized. They had to go through different stuff. So with our vacations, you get the opportunity to have a full suite. You get an opportunity to have a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, maybe two bathrooms and a half, depending on the size that you get. You get an opportunity to actually be with your family, right? In like-minded places, and you can afford it. Right. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people who have families who've never been able to afford to take their families on vacation. Right. Well, you can take a vacation for as little as $0. You can take a vacation for $1 a night. You can take a vacation for two bedrooms for $59. You can get a 3-bedroom in Orlando, or a 4-bedroom. You can get a 3-bedroom for $79 and $99, and then turn around.
Is that per night?
No, that's for the whole week, for 8 days and 7 nights. And then you can turn around and you can get a discount on your Disney tickets and all of that. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the cost that we save. And it hurts my heart every time. I had recently, not too about this time, maybe last year, I had someone contact me. They were spend $16,000 to go to Disney World for a family of 10 or 11. I think it was 6 adults and 4 children or something like that. I said to myself, you know, that you have to, that's ridiculous. $16,000? That is absolutely insane, right? And we were able to save that family about at least $12,000. $12,000, and that's including the rental car, the van that they needed, and things like that. We had another family that was spending like $7,000 a year using all their taxes to go to Universal Studios in Orlando once a year, could only go in one park. Now they can they got a 3-bedroom last year, I think they paid $129 for the week, and then turned around and was able to get into Universal Studios as a VIP, so they didn't have to stand in line for 50% off. So, and being an educator for years, what I did is I did parent involvement, family involvement, responsible fatherhood, and healthy marriage. So one of the things that I know, especially for children, to be able to expose those children, especially children that's in inner cities, to expose those children to an environment outside of their neighborhood is absolutely amazing. When I was pastoring, I used to have a vacation group that I call From the Hood to the Woods. And I would take children from their hood to the woods, and when they would get there and see the trees and the deer, their eyes would just light up, and it was an experience. And we have a young lady on our team that's actually getting ready, that has 12 youth, middle school youth, that she's going to take to 50 states before they finish their college. So being able to have that, so not only with your family, you know, I tell people this is a very passionate thing for me, because I have more years behind me than I do in front of me. And a few years ago, I almost lost my husband. So to be able to have that time with my great granddaughter and my 3-year-old granddaughter, I have a 26-year-old granddaughter, I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, to be able to have those moments, and be able to afford them and not break the bank, because then I can take some money and invest it in Forex.
Yes, you talking. Now, man, this is good. Let me just throw this out. When someone, because of their money, People can do with their money what they choose. But when we reach out to someone, or anyone on our team reach out to someone, and we make an offer for them to become a part of our travel business, whether they operate it as a business or not, if they decline the offer, would you agree that they are totally wasting their money by not taking advantage of our offer?
Well, of course, they definitely are. You know, we just had a young man who joined this business, hasn't even been in 2 weeks. Came from another travel company, that right, and he actually had a couple of free nights, and then he's in Vegas right now. When he came into our company, he actually re-looked at what we had, and he actually saved what they were charging him $1,000 for. He actually got over 50% off. So he's in the same hotel, the same room for 50% off. You know what I'm saying? He's a young man, he's single, right? But to be able to give, like I took my son and my granddaughter, my son is a workaholic. Was able to take my son to a resort that was $2,560 something that for 8 days and 7 nights for $59 for a whole week, right? It had like 8 heated swimming pools and had a marina, and we went boat riding. We were able to do that, and they practiced social distancing, so you had to make an appointment for everything. But we were able to do that for $59 for a whole week. When they walked in, they couldn't believe it. His fiance thought that it was going to be a dump. She was totally shocked, right? It had 2 kitchens, living room, dining room, 3 TVs, right? And we were never with anybody. We were always in a group to ourselves.
Right.
So to be able to give your family a $2,500, and I take pictures. What I do with my family, I just take pictures, because when I'm gone, I want my great granddaughter. She's only 2, but I want her to remember that. Yeah, I hung out with Papa. I mean, I got her 4 months old sitting up in a plane looking at the clouds at 4 months.
Lord.
Right? We call it a travel baby. She just sitting back. She got a little shades. She got a little, right? She a travel baby. She go where we go. Where Papa or Grandma go, she hit it too.
That's legacy. You have expanded her horizon to never settle.
Now everybody who thought I was crazy. See, when I joined this business, people, my kids and everybody in my family thought I was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
My daughter accused me of being a part of a Ponzi scheme.
Ain't that some stuff?
I have the video. You want to go the video? You go to my website. So I made her record it. She thought I was crazy, but guess who's in the business now?
Come on here,
right?
What
because they found out that Mama and Daddy was telling them the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yeah. Why would you lie anyway? That's what be like. This is good. I hope you guys are getting this. This is real talk, real deal, Holyfield. Thank you, Coach Tanya. You're right. Memories last so much longer than tangible items. Yes. Jamal, what a blessing. Moments are priceless. Mamu, making memories with loved ones is so important. Testimony. Tanya says, I'm so ready for my next trip coming up soon. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you're watching this live or replay, someone invited you to this presentation, make sure you get back with them, because this is what you need to do. You need to change the trajectory of your family, especially the recreational time. Come on. I ain't got to convince you. Life is short at best, fragile to say the least. And how dare we think that we can do it? We'll do it later. No. Even in the midst of COVID, we both have taken multiple getaways, safe getaways, practicing all the precautions, but they were places that were taken care of. And listen, our families were made the best. Man, we needed to let off some steam. She let off most things. We needed to let off some steam, man. And if that's you, your family, you can't live in that cave forever. At some point,
and people, they saw us traveling, and they was like, the audacity of you to travel, right? But I just got off the phone with one of my dearest friends and found out that her whole family had COVID. Her 2 kids, and they never go anywhere.
Lord have mercy.
They never, they, all she did was go to work and come home.
Ain't that something? See?
Right. And the whole family, the husband, her, and the kids had COVID. And I'm not saying that, because I love them dearly, but I'm saying that we've been from everywhere.
Yeah.
We've done exactly what we wanted to do, but we've practiced social distance. I got a social distancing bag, right? I take all my stuff. And what I tell people is safer to go now in some cases, in many cases, because everything is disinfected. Everything, they can't keep the same blanket on the bed. They got to take that joker off. So everything is safe. It's different. And as long as you stay in your bubble, I'm gonna do a big thing on bubble vacations, because I'm getting ready to do one with my kids. It's like, remember when I was young. Now I'm gonna tell my age. But when I was young, there was a story about a boy that had to live in a bubble.
Yep, I do.
You ever heard about him? He had to live inside the bubble. Well, that's what I feel like with my family, because even though I know COVID is real, I know the pandemic is real, but I also know God is real, and I also know that there's a bubble. You're not gonna not be with your wife. You're not gonna be with your baby girl. That just ain't gonna happen, right? I'm not gonna not see my kids. I'm not gonna not see my mama. That ain't happening. That just can't happen for me.
That's what life is. That's what life is.
Now I might not see some of my friends, but I done seen my mama. Right. So that's what's important. So you might have to live life in a bubble, but I believe in 2021, whatever you choose to do, you ought to be able to do that. And you got to spend quality time with your family. We have the ministers' night on Monday night, and the reason that we started that because we realized that so many ministers and we was guilty. We did was church. And then the vacations we took was to the conventions, the conferences, and the kids was on the back seat on the bench sleep. Right?
No wonder
that ain't no vacation. To all the preachers out there.
Get real.
Take it from a retired preacher. That ain't a vacation. Your kids will hate you.
Yes, Lord, and everything about you, Lord,
and your God too.
I'm trying to tell you. Let's go to this next one, and we're almost there. Let me backtrack, see where we were. We were talking about from the top, strategizing your wins for 2021. Number 1, your vision and goals. Number 2, your teammates, like-minded individuals. Number 3, personal growth. Number 4, Forex education and investments. It's a must. Number 5, family vacations, but it doesn't end there. Apostle, you just hit it. Sometimes you just need your personal getaway, whether that's you and your boo, right?
Yeah.
Or just you. Bootless, right?
You're good at that. You're probably the best on our team of getting away. I brag on you about that, and I tell other pastors. I have a pastor who will take his 8 days, 7 nights. He will go a couple of hours from the church. But he gonna go look at him some water. He gonna look at him some grass. He gonna bring his honey in for a couple of days.
That's it. She can't stay like I can.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna bring his boo in for a couple of days. But you good at that, and everybody they're not good at that. They're just not, and that's kind of sad. But you do definitely need to do that. I remember when I was going through the with my husband, I remember I was just so stressed out, and I was able to get a plane ticket round trip for $49 through our portal, and I was able to could stay at the Hard Rock for $25. So I got on a plane. He was in the hospital, so I knew he was okay. Called my daughter, got on a plane, went to Vegas, sat in the middle of the Hard Rock in a bed, and just chilled for 4 days.
That's it. Because
I could.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Because I could. I mean, I just needed that, and I'm a water, earth type of person. So I need to be by a pond. I'm trying to get God to build me a pond out here in these woods. Right.
All right. All right.
I'm one of those kind of people. So you got to take that time to really. And can you imagine all the people who have been locked up in their homes with their kids, and then they had to become they teachers.
Lord
And
have
then they working from home too, so they got to figure out how they got a space for the kids to do the work, and then they got to work, and the kids are study pulling on you talking about mama, 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 right? They need a vacation.
There's a passage you all are familiar, of course. We know it as the 23rd Psalm, but just a couple of the verses in there where it talks about he leads me, what does he say? Beside the still waters. And then it says a part about he restores my soul. And Apostle, I guess we must be twins because that so resonates with me that after a particular period of time, if I've not gotten away to see some open sky, whether it's the stars at night or sunrise, and if I'm not by either an ocean or a large body of water, and I can look out over the trees as the leaves are beginning to blow both ways in that wind and that mist coming out, whatever. If I don't do that, at least on a certain, I feel like I'm drying up. And the creative mindset, all the creativity, it just, I can feel it diminishing. And it used to be a time when, because I could be a workaholic, but it used to be a time when I was just, and not take that in mind. And I started to find out there's a term, of course, you've taught on it, wounded warriors. And it's not just for those in ministry as we know ministry, but it's for those who are givers, whether they're caregivers for someone, police, firefighters, teachers, social workers. I mean, the list, the hospitality, customer service, the list goes on and on and on.
Yes.
If you keep giving is good. But at some point, Jesus said, who touched me? They're like, oh, you tripping. Ain't all these folk around here, you talking about something.
Yes.
Oh, no. Somebody touched me because virtue went out. Every time we continue to allow ourselves to be used of God to give, we're losing something. And if y'all don't hear anything else tonight, if you're going to win in 2021, make this a part of your strategy. You got to have some downtime, and you got to have some time when he restores your soul because he's leading you beside the still waters. Jamal says that's peace. That's right. Peace that flows like a river. Pastor Everett, man, let's talk, man. Give me a call. Happy New Year to you, man of God. We got to connect. Let me give you this last one. We got one more. Two more to go. We'll go on that. Here we go. Your multiple streams of income. Because here it is, Apostle. I want you to make it plain for us. If you're going to strategize real wins for 2021, what is the relevance of including multiple streams of income?
Well, basically, I'll use myself. I worked traditionally for over 40 years. And one day my slip was not pink, it was blue.
Ooh.
And I found myself unemployed for the first time since I had been a teenager. And I did not understand the concept of multiple streams. So what I've now taught my children, my daughter has her own business. My son has 4 businesses. I have more than one business. Most people know me in the travel business, but I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I have my own consulting business, traditional, that I just recently got asked to be part of a national board because the Democrats are coming back in, So I have multiple streams is necessary, but you want to make sure that the stream that's feeding, how do your streams connect? That's why you got to get, because what happens is people get in multiple network marketing companies and they call that multiple streams, but that's not multiple streams. You got to figure out what streams. It's like a river. And and so there's a mouth and there's a funnel, there's an opening. So what is it, those things? And so even if you go to my website, you'll see how everything locks together. I'm in travel because I travel. I'm in travel because I travel for business. I travel for ministry. I do conferences. I do conventions. It is a stream for me. Right?
You're going to do it anyway.
Right. That's a stream.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look at it like that. So the importance of understanding what is your multiple stream is your what feeds what's going to feed, because you never know. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And and the pandemic, if it didn't teach anybody else the importance of home-based business,
Lord,
if it didn't teach if you didn't teach you anything else about how everything is going to go virtual, if it didn't teach you corporations are shutting down because they realize that they don't have to pay that overhead, because most people are more productive at home.
At home.
At home. So they don't have to pay that overhead, and they can pay you a little bit more money because they don't have to pay no lights, no gas, no leasing bills, no nothing. So you got to tap into the multiple stream, but you want to make sure that the streams that you're tapping into are interchanged and interlocked to where you're going. Don't just gonna go over here and say a weight loss and go over here and do this and that and this and that. What feeds, right? What is going to feed? And so that's what I believe. I believe that the Lord has opened up that door for us to be able to do that. He's made us highly, highly intelligent people.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I always tell people, and there's enough room for everybody at the table. You know, it's enough room for everybody. Right. I was telling somebody one time, I said, you got McDonald's. This is one of my favorite things. Okay, you got McDonald's coffee. I love McDonald's coffee. It's $1. Well, it ain't $1 down here, but it's $1 up north. We got upset because it's $2 down here. I like McDonald's coffee. But every once in a while, I got a friend on Apostle that he's from Chicago. He loves Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Right? And then there are plenty folk that like Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all coffee.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times they on the same block.
Same street.
They all on the same street. And if you open the cup, it all looks like coffee, but do it taste the same? That's the difference. That's it. Right? Then I tell people with streams, there's a McDonald's stream. So there's people that's going to come into your business that may just have McDonald's money. And then there's going to be people that come in that can get a donut and a cup of coffee because it costs a little bit more than a dot, right? And then there's going to be some Starbucks people. When I'm dealing with Starbucks people, I don't meet them at McDonald's.
Come on.
Right? Yeah. And that's what the streams are. You know, knowing, instead of getting all deep, I want people to understand that there are streams and I don't, I have a friend that I know a pastor who actually most of my members from my church that I pastored, they attend his church. He owns 16 McDonald's. A pastor, right? And then I know an evangelist who owns not only all the Burger Kings in the Midwest, but she also owns the Pizza Huts and the Taco Bells because they all one franchise.
My Lord.
Right?
My Lord.
But they all live in the same area. They're all friends. They got restaurants down the streets from each other. They all sell hamburgers.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody.
But they understand their lane. They understand their stream. You got to understand your stream. And so I ain't in competition with you. We ain't in competition. You sell travel, I sell travel.
Right.
You do you, I do me. Right. But you can't be me and I can't be you. But quit trying to do everything. And that's what I see the failure at, Pastor. I see so many people going to the next deal, to the next this, to the next this, to the next this, to the next this, and you don't win at nothing.
Come on.
Consistency is everything. Vision is everything. That's why you started this thing out as strategizing in 2022. You got to write the vision. You got to make it plain. How does this stuff interact and interchange? Right. I don't sell weight loss products and stuff like that. That's not because that's not my lane. One of the things I heard this morning, because I don't really watch TV, but I watch business stuff. So I heard that Tupperware is back in business.
Mama.
That their stock has went up. Remember Tupperware? That Tupperware part?
Of course.
They can't keep Tupperware online. They can't keep it on the shelf. They have a 5-week waiting list. 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In my season, everybody in your mama's season, everybody had Tupperware.
Parties. Yeah, that's right.
And they had Tupperware in your house. It was green, plastic, right? Everybody had it. And so you just got to figure out what stream. I just believe that you need to have multiple streams, but you got to know what platform and how they flow into one another.
You have helped us immensely. Let me say this. Y'all need to write this in the comments. Stop trying to do everything and stop trying to be everyone. Y'all heard us say that. Because when you're trying to do everything and you're trying to be everyone, you miss everything altogether. Number one, you got to be who it is that God called you to be. And everything that flows in continuity with your river yourself. You need to see yourself as a stream of income. You are your CEO. We're a part of a powerful company. Travorium is the name of it. CEO, Mr. David Hart, Mrs. Adela Hart. Shout out, happy New Year to them. They are the CEOs of the company, but they're not the CEOs of us. We're our own CEOs. We're streams ourselves. You have yourself as a stream of income. But how do you multiply those streams? You make sure that everything is congruent and consistent. There has to be a continuity of flow for everything. What she just said is perfectly stated. It has to flow with who you are. Y'all remember Apostle, there was that dude, I can't remember which program it was, but he would open up his coat and he had watches and perfume, and then he opened up the other side of his jacket. He had some more stuff. He was always selling. I mean, and it was always he had everything, but he also had nothing. He was always broke. So I think that what we got to do is we got to make sure that what we are offering comes from the true nature. We got to be true to it. We have to be true to who we are, and we got to be true to what we offer. We can't offer something that's inconsistent with who we are.
Yes.
Because we travel and we love travel, we love getaways, we love family time. Because we love that, it's natural for us to share it with others. This is not even work.
No.
This is not even work.
No, it's not work.
You know, but if it was some other stuff, be like, oh Lord, I got to go. Oh, okay. See, you don't want that. Life is too short. You don't want that. But you gotta, in 2021, you gotta, if you're gonna win. I love how she put it. You gotta put your you gotta put your game plan together for multiple streams of income, but they have to be harmonious. They gotta come.
And if you're working, so say for instance, you've always been an accountant, right? We have someone on our team that's a very gifted accountant. And so now she's putting together, she's part of this business, but she's also putting an LLC together for an accounting business.
Yes.
Right? Because now she's working from home and she realized that she really wants to work for herself. You understand? And so being able to do that and understanding how that locks into who you are, right? So even if you're working right now, you need to be working on your exit plan. It may take you 5 years, it may take you 10 years, it may take you a year, but you gotta align yourself up with something and someone, because I've had multiple coaches. I just didn't wake up one day and said, I'm not gonna do this. I had to figure it out. And I remember I shout out to a guy named Mike, who was one of my first coaches. He had a group called the Cold Slap. Ooh, baby, it was something, but it took me to a level to help me to understand and to force me. I used to would not tell people all of the accomplishments that I had because I didn't want, pride. I didn't want false evidence I didn't want people to think that I was bragging on myself.
Right.
In the Cold Slap, I learned you better brag on yourself, girl. You better write down everything. Yeah, you got an award from the first Black president of the United States, and you better tell that. Right. You want you to pioneer of working with men in responsible finance, and they black men, and you run a multi-million, you better tell that. You need to tell that, because that's going to open the door, right? And you want people to be able to shout your name when they hear something. Like my daughter called me today, and she said someone contacted, because she does grants, and somebody contacted her from some food bank or something to write a grant form, and she don't even know. First they offered her a job, and she didn't, she like a mama, she ain't really trying to work for nobody right now. And so then she said, no, I ain't looking for that. So now they have now decided, okay, well, can you consult for us? Well, of course she has her own consulting firm, because I taught her how to have a multiple stream.
Right.
You understand? But she got to get the place is in Michigan. Well, she got to travel to get there, right? So now she got a piece of the truck.
It all makes sense. In fact, Apostle, to be honest with you, there are exceptions, of course, but for the majority of people, travel is such a complementary business.
Yes.
No matter what it is, it's kind of like certain things you wear, certain colors and fashion and all that. There's certain things you can accessorize almost with it goes with every outfit. Travel is the type of thing that will go with every type of business or lifestyle, because if you're going to go somewhere, you're not just going to pop your fingers and get there.
Yes.
So it works out very well. Let me go through some of the comments, and then we're going to end on this last one. I'm very excited. You know we're having fun here. Tanya says, stop trying to do everything. Stop trying to be everyone. My move, be your authentic self. And Tanya says, do you, boo? Jamal, stop trying to do everything and stop trying to be everyone. Sharing is caring. Absolutely. Dora, there you go. So what you're saying is, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I would say that. Absolutely. All right, let's end it with this, because this is how we go home today. You have a team, which I'm honored to be a part of, called Team Legacy. That was a part of your vision. The team that God gave me is called Team Joshua Generation. And I love working together with you. We're like-minded in that. We make each other better. Family legacy. If we're going to win in 2021, we can't be focused on individual wins.
No.
We have to be focused on something far greater. Red carpet for you. Take us home.
Well, what I would say, the reason that I love the company Travorium is because David is and Nadella are very family focused. They're very family focused. And when he built this particular business, it was all about creating legacy. It was all about leaving legacy. It was all about giving families who normally couldn't be able to afford to take a vacation. I mean, it was all about just creating wealth for families. And so for me, the reason that I call our Team Legacy is because in my dispensation of time, and because I am now a seasoned senior citizen officially,
all right?
I choose to leave legacy. I choose to create an opportunity for people to make deposits that will continue when I leave. So when I'm gone, that will continue, right? To just those nuggets will continue to go and go and go and go. It's like an ever-ready battery. And that's what I believe the legacy is actually creating that generational legacy wealth streams that will continue. And I believe that we need to teach, more families need to teach their family, because a lot of times we become consumers and we come and we don't leave anything. And then we got to do a GoFundMe to bury our folks and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't really, you got to have something that you're going to leave, your children, your children's children, right? When we gathered for Christmas in our bubble, right? My granddaughter, I have this award section. I have a couple. My husband said I need a big case, but I have a section. So I have this whole section where I have a letter from President Barack Obama, and I have my pen, and I have a certificate, and I have the stuff, right? So my daughter and my granddaughter was in an argument about who inherits that. Right? Who inherits that's legacy, right?
Right.
And who inherits that with the daughter? My daughter said, well, I'm the daughter. I'm the only daughter. And my granddaughter say, but you're gonna be gone and you're gonna be old. So I just need to, keep it because we probably will never have another one. And maybe in your lifetime, whatever. So they had this discussion, but being able to have that kind of be able to make that deposit. And what I want to see for our team is to be able to leave that, to be able to teach that. See, and on our team, we do more than tell people, oh, you're going to get rich. You're going to get rich overnight. You're going to do this. No, it's about teaching people strategies to be able to enjoy their family, to strengthen their marriages, to strengthen their homes, to lock arms and to be able to say, right, I love you and Kendra's relationship. You are an example of, she could do first lady. If I could package her, I would make her do a first ladies class.
Come on. That's her brand. That's
a call in itself.
Right.
That's one of her businesses, honey, to do a first lady class. Because she is the first lady. I ain't never had that gift. I don't have it. I don't have it. I always been a preacher, and I ain't never had it. And I told them if they need some. You know what I'm saying? That's creating legacy, right? Being able to drop those nuggets. So I'm just saying that with family legacy, you want that thing to go on for generations to generation. So like in our family, one of the things that we have done is we have definitely created a legacy to travel. Everybody, my granddaughter trying to go somewhere now. It's like, hey, it's cheap.
She must be talking to April.
She's like, it's cheap. I can go somewhere round trip for $45.
Right.
Trying to get to Miami, trying to get that. And as we was planning our little vacation, I said, we're going to go in the United States. No, let's go to Europe.
Man.
I'm like, wait till the vaccine get into this. No, let's go to Europe. So that's they like, so you imagine by the time my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old, they just gonna think it's less normal.
Oh my Lord.
I told this story the other day about how my granddaughter, who's 3, she was with her dad and he had me on FaceTime. So she comes to the computer because she has her iPad. So she comes to the computer and she says, Grandma, are you going to take me to the beach? She's 3. I said, yeah, Grandma going to come take you to the beach. Next thing we knew, she was standing. She was gone. She came back to the computer. She was standing there in her black and white swimming suit and her floaties talking about, I'm ready to go to the beach, Grandma. You on your way to my house? 3.
That's called not getting ready.
She ready. So I got to go take that baby to the beach as soon as I can because she has to contribute that when Grandma come to town, she's going to go somewhere, she's going to hang out, and she's going to go to the beach because we like water and sand.
That's legacy right there. You have built it. And as the founder of our team, I'm so honored to lock arms with you. I mean, greater is coming. I have no doubt. We want to say to everybody watching this broadcast, wherever you are, to get back with the person that shared it with you. Because there's a connection. Obviously, they shared it with you. There's a connection. And you need to position yourself, to line yourself up, to win. Everything that was lost, everything that was hindered, everything that stagnated in 2020, it's a new season. We can recover it all, but you got to get ready to win. I'll say this, legacy, that first 3 letters of legacy, leg. I want you to see life like this. It's like a leg in a race. Here's a mistake we make. We often think that we got the whole race. No, we don't. When we got here, someone had given us their part and passed it on to us. And soon enough, we'll be doing the same for someone else. None of us were ever meant to stay here. Our works will remain, and I hope that our works will speak for us.
Yes.
I hope that our works will make the way brighter for someone coming behind us. But we got to make sure that we redeem the time. We got to make sure that we are wise in this thing and discern that we're getting close to the end of the day. But before we leave this place, let us be about our Father's business to make it better for someone else. That's what legacy is all about. If that's appealing to you, if that resonates with your heart, reach out to Apostle Deborah, reach out to myself, reach out to one of the team members, and let's roll up our sleeves and let's go to work. Apostle Deborah, I want to give you the last words, darling. I love you to life. Thank you so much. Listen, I said we were going to be quick, but it's hard to look. It's hard to talk to you. It's hard to talk to you. See, this is fun for me.
Don't blame it on me. Well, I would end with this and say that our company says a better life requires a better way.
Yes.
And today I said, I got up and I really thought about that. I said, well, I wonder what David Hart meant when he wrote that. And the Lord began to say to me, he says, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the light. So way has to do with walking in truth, walking in light, right? But one of the things that touched me was about life. He says, I've come to give you life, and that more abundantly. So if you're going to live a better life, a better way, he has come to give you abundant life because he is the truth. He is the life, and he is the light. God bless you.
God bless you, darling. I love you. I got somebody, William Lay. We're going to have to talk. Reed Avenue. That's it right there. Dora says the boy in the plastic bubble. Absolutely. We made it to 2021. What are we going to do with it? She's in the Word for Sunday, y'all. Y'all come hear us on Sunday at 9:30 Life Lesson, then 11 o'clock worship hour. We're so excited about what God is about to do. She put it right there. That was starring John Travolta.
Yes.
In 1976. Well,
Tell them our age. Was you born then? Was you even born then?
Well, the time has been well spent. We love you. Ain't nothing you can do to stop it. We'll see you on the other side. Let's lock arms and go to higher ground. God bless you real good. Love you, sis. Talk to you soon.
All right. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.